Hello, everyone, and welcome to Makeover Monday, Week 40 Watch Me Viz. I am your host, Andy Kriebel. If you have not attended one of these before, please leave me a comment and let me know what you expect from this session. But I'll give you a little bit of advance notice. I am going to take a visualization and a data set and build lots of things with it and try to come up with an interesting story. The data is all available on the Makeover Monday website at makeovermonday.co.uk. And while you're at it, if you go to andykriebel.com and pop in your email address, I write a newsletter every Friday that has exclusive tips to newsletter subscribers, and you get those before anybody else. So that's at andykriebel.com. So today we are looking at data from Google Trends. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the data source itself. Let me actually just go like this. I'm going to bring up the Google Trends data. And I don't remember how I came across this data set about scary dreams, but I thought it was interesting. So let's see. By the way, also, while you are watching, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. I can see the chat on my second screen, so you can see me looking to the right. I'm looking for you to leave a chat. Let me know what you expect and where you're calling in from. So the data set here, so Google Trends data basically is like a, if we hover over we're looking at search interest data, and it's on a scale of 0 to 100. So 100 means it's peak popularity. So it's kind of like a sliding scale. And we have data from 2009 all the way to September of 2023. Hello, Jen. Hello, Garima. And what might be interesting, I don't know if we can find it or not, but October, scary dreams, which makes sense because of Halloween. Probably, I'm guessing this is October as well, and probably October. Yeah, so Octobers tend to be the highest, which isn't surprising. But October 2022, this is probably October 2020, 21, and so on. So really interesting data. I tried to get the data by state, but there just aren't that many states that actually that are in this data set. So I was hoping to get it broken down by state and time, but all we have is time. So I'm going to go ahead and also show you the data set now. So if I go to the data set and look at week 40, the data itself is really simple. It's just the month and the scary dreams index. Probably should call it like an index or something like that, but it's just for America. I wonder if it would be interesting to. Maybe I'll see if I can get data for worldwide as well and compare that to the US. Let's see. So anybody could have done this, by the way. So scary dreams interest over time. It's probably similar, but I'm just going to go ahead and download that data anyway. And I'll merge the two data sets together. So this is, what did I call this one? So I'm just going to copy this. Actually, let me open it first because I think it has some junk at the top. Yeah, so here we go. There we go. All right. And then what I could do is I could just union these data sets together. So let me close that. I don't know why I didn't do this for everyone, but anybody could have gone out there and gotten that additional data if they wanted to. So let me just paste that. Oops. Let's paste this in. I'll call this Scary Dreams Worldwide. And then this one would be Scary Dreams USA. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to join these data sets together so that I can make the data wider. So when you do a join, you're kind of thinking about it as like appending columns on the right. When you do a union, you're making data taller. So joins make data fat and unions make data tall. So I'm just going to choose more. And hey, Sam, good to see you. And I'm going to go to Makeover Monday, data 2023. I'm going to pick Scary Dreams. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my Scary Dreams Worldwide. And I need to now set up my referential or my performance options here. So in my cardinality, so maybe I'll try to explain this why I'm here. So if you look at, when you hover over these, it kind of gives you a description. Values in month aren't unique, but we do know they are unique. So I'm going to say 1. And then on the right-hand side, it's the same thing. So it's a one-to-one relationship. There's 2009-01 in Scary Dreams, and there's 2009-01 in the worldwide, and they're unique. So that's that. And then down here in the referential integrity, so we want to say all records match and all records match, because it's a one-to-one relationship. So what Tableau is actually doing, when you set it up this way, this is actually kind of doing a join. So you can see what Tableau does there. This will join the data before aggregating, right? So that's your kind of classical join there. So I know that was a really quick intro to relationships in Tableau, but that's kind of how they work. So I only need one of these. So for example, let me just show you what this is going to do. So if I bring both of these dates out, you'll see that I have dates all the way from all of the years. So nothing dropped out. So, but I only need one of these columns. So I'm going to hide that one. And then I'm going to actually change this one to a date. So now if I drag that in, we can see we have all of the data for all of the months, right? So 1, 2, yep. So all looks good. Let's maybe look at this as a heat map. And let's look at maybe Scary Dreams for the USA. And let's see, if I do it duplicated here, that's not going to do it. I was thinking that maybe we could do side by side. So let's see. So if I drop that on top, that's not going to do anything. Yeah. So let's undo that. I think I could, let me try duplicating this one. No, but that doesn't give me 2 shelves. Okay, so that's worldwide. This would be, what the heck? Oh, okay, so I need to get, all right, so this is a problem here. So I need to, properties, nope. I need to show hidden fields. I need to unhide that. I need to make this one a date as well. So because of the way I set up the data integrity, or the way I set up the relationship, it has to be, they both have to be dates. So if I go back and forth, okay, so slightly different. So let's maybe look at it over time. So I'm just going to drag that in and choose month. And let's look at USA Scary Dreams versus worldwide Scary Dreams. And we get something like that. So not much difference between the two. It looks pretty similar. Yeah, so nothing in particular there. That's all right. So let me duplicate this. Now I'm going to just try building a few different views. I want to compare the US to worldwide. So I want to create a new calculated field, and let's say worldwide versus USA. And it's just going to be worldwide minus USA. So let's try that here instead. And I'm going to make this bars just because I think it'll be a bit easier to see. And then let's put that on color. Okay. So overall, the index is higher for the world than it is for the USA. September, October, and then we've got October, right? So Halloween makes sense, right? So maybe there's some other dates similar to Halloween in other countries. I'm going to have to plead ignorance on that. I'm just not sure. Right. So this shows me the difference, but it's not really telling me a whole lot, is it? So let me go back to this sheet and duplicate. And I'm first going to change the paths to be, I just want to be able to see them a bit better. Wow, that's pretty psychedelic. And I want to look at the, let's see. So I want to have this on here twice. And I want my lines to be by the path. That's not quite right, is it? And then this one, I want to make circles. I'm just trying to do a barbell. And let's dual axis this. Let's see. So let's dual axis and synchronize. Okay, and I think I need to make this discrete in order to, there we go. Okay, so now if I make this fit entire view, we get something like that, which doesn't really tell us anything, does it? Let's undo. Right, so the barbell doesn't really tell us anything. So if I put on this shelf, if I put the variance here, and let's now get rid of the circles. Let's try this. Let me duplicate it. Get rid of that. And now this shows us, and I think if I make this continuous, it's going to break everything again, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so we don't want that. But could I do that? If I put, so how is this connecting things? I think I'm going to put, there we go. Okay. So what does this tell us? Not much either, but it looks a bit more interesting at least. Okay. So maybe something else we could do then. I just had an idea come into my head about, hello, Filippo. Hello, Rashab. Nice to have you here. Only a few people today, not too many. So I'm wondering if I should do something like, where to go? Like this, but as a kind of as a waterfall chart. So let me duplicate this sheet. And if I make this a Gantt bar, actually, I want to make this a running total to know what kind of the variance is over time. And then I want to make this a Gantt bar. And then this is going to go on. Let's leave that on color, but I also need it to go on size. Where is it here? Where'd it go? But that's going to make them go the wrong direction, I believe. Let me try. That's great. Yes, those are going the wrong direction. So I want this to be a negative. There we go. So this is now going to give us a Gantt chart over time. So we can see it started getting scarier in the US. I don't know if that's useful at all, but it looks relatively interesting. So if I look at, where was the other one? This one here, same idea. Okay. So now if I make this, set this to continuous again, and just make the size smaller. So this is like a Gantt chart of the difference between. I think the way I want to interpret this is in September, between September of 2009, or sorry, January 2009 and September 2023, there have been the index is 3 times higher for the world than the US. But does that really mean anything? Is there any reason to use months on column? I'm using months, Imran, because that's the level of the data. If you use year, you need to make sure that you don't leave this as a sum. You're going to make sure you use probably a median value instead of I wouldn't even use an average. I'd probably use a median. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, so I wouldn't, if you do use a higher level of aggregation like quarter or year, make sure that you use the proper aggregation for the measure that you put in the view. Right. Okay. So let's look at let's do this by month, and let's put year on color and USA here. Okay. So what does that tell us? Nothing, other than we can see all the Octobers get higher. But but that's okay. We don't have to see anything when we create a visualization. That's fine. That doesn't tell us anything. What else could we do? Let me bring up a workbook that I created recently. Let's look at this one here. And let's see if we can use any of these. I was thinking maybe we can, okay, yeah, so let's duplicate this. And instead of, let's move the year to the rows. And let's make this continuous. And then drag it over. I'm just going to make some spark lines here. And does that tell us anything? So fit height. Doesn't really tell us a whole lot, does it? That's okay. That's fine. It doesn't have to. Let's see. We could do a moving average maybe. So again, let's bring on the month field. Month. Let's bring on the USA. Duplicate that. And I want to make this add a table calculation. I'm going to do a moving calculation, a moving average, let's say of the last 6 months. So that needs to be 5, and then current value becomes 6. And then let's make this a dual axis and synchronize. And my measure names are both the same. Okay, so let's make this one gray. Oh, no, let's make this one blue. Maybe make this one yellow for now. Okay, so that doesn't really tell us anything either. So if I duplicate this again and make this, let's look at quarterly level instead, we would need to make sure this is well, I'm going to use an average because my calculation is an average. Something like that. Yeah, so that's not particularly useful. Doesn't even look very good. But maybe what I could do is, instead of having that one, I could do the worldwide. And then also make this one a 6-month moving average. Okay, so that makes them a bit easier to compare if we do a 6-month moving average. Still nothing particularly useful. Okay, so let's go back to the drawing board here. We could take where was the difference one that I did? This one. I could duplicate that, and let's make these discrete and fit entire view. And I'm going to duplicate that field and make this one a circle. Something like that. And then on this one, let's make the size really small and make it a dual axis and synchronize. Okay, so slightly different take on so that one versus this one. I think this one looks a bit nicer. I think because the dots on the end make the months stand out a bit better. Okay, might be interesting as a seismograph similar to one of your other charts, but aligned to the center. Right, so we could do a seismograph. So to do that, let's bring the month here. Actually, yeah, that's fine. We'll just do it here. And then we need to do half of the index above and half of the index below. So I'm just going to drag this here for now. And I'm just going to multiply that by 0.5. Duplicate that one. And then put a minus in the front. And then we make this a combined axis. And we can put measure names onto path. And then let's duplicate this field onto detail. Okay, so there's our seismogram, something like that. That's for the US. So this is our, and I could duplicate that and do it for the world as well. So I probably should just save these calculations. So let's call this 1/2 USA and call this one, this one is the one with the negative in front. Yep. Minus 1/2 USA. Rename. Oh. Minus. Okay, there we go. So I could do the same thing for worldwide now. So if I put worldwide here and then multiply it by 0.5 and then put it here again, multiply it by 0.5 and then put a minus at the front. Okay, so let's do this one. So this would be minus 1/2 worldwide. And then this one would be 1/2 worldwide. Okay, I think you mean something like that, Jen, I believe. So this is, so now we're going to look at the seismogram for the world. Yes, there we go. So that's, how do they look compared to each other? Pretty much the same. But if I stick them on a dashboard, let's just see. Normally I wouldn't do it this way. But it's kind of impossible to tell the difference between them. Yeah. Okay, let's try it this way. Let's flip it and flip it. So I'm reversing the axis to put the most recent at the top. I don't know. Doesn't really tell me anything, but still need to look at it. So I'm just going to duplicate that and reverse it. And then I need to unreverse the line. Okay. So we've got 3 different seismograms. I wonder if I should put the, what if I actually color it as well? So we'll do some double encoding. 50 is the middle. So if I did, let's pick a good color palette. Step color, no, we want to do, the center is at 0. Start is at 0. And the end is at 100. Use full color range. Oh no, we want the center to be 50. So it's always above 50, basically. Okay, that didn't tell us a whole hell of a lot. All right. But what if I put the, let me duplicate that again. What if I put the difference to the world on color? Okay, still nothing interesting, but that's all right. Let's now maybe look at, let's look at a, oh, what the hell's the name of the chart? Oh God, I'm drawing a complete blank on the name. Oh, I am drawing a complete blank. Cycle plot, yeah. So let's do scary dreams, right? And then we put an average line on the pane. And let's set this to continuous. There we go. Then we see the spikes in Octobers. Again, doesn't really tell us anything. That's okay. was wondering if we could look at a calendar, but we can only look at it by, if we look at it as a calendar, we only look at it by month. We don't have daily level data. So Mark Petit, so you're watching the live stream now, so same place wherever you're watching. I think you are watching on LinkedIn, so it'll just keep running on LinkedIn, so join back whenever you can. Thanks for attending. So let's look at some of these other ones then. Let's look at a dot plot. So we want to look at, let's see, let's look at it by year. And let's put this here as a circle. And then let's put the month onto detail. And we get something like that. Oh, that's a bit more interesting. So if I put an average line for each pane, nope, for each cell. So it gives me the average for each year. Oh, that's a bit more interesting. So let's edit that. Computation, I'm going to set it to none for now. And I'm going to make it much darker so we can see it better. So that now shows us the average across the years. What does it look like if I flip it? Yeah, I don't like it that way. I like it, definitely like it better that way. Yeah, so the scariness index is much lower in 2009. So when did it? Oh, it sort of started leveling out in 2012. Okay. So that's that. We could look at a circle timeline. I don't know if that's going to tell us much, though. Maybe we could just do it for a single. So let's do month and USA. No, that one's size. And this should be the average of 0 or 1, doesn't matter. And then let's duplicate that. And on this one, let's put the worldwide. And now, if I shrink these down and make them both bigger, yes, that's not the way I need to do this. I'm doing it backwards. So that's fine. I need to duplicate this one. How did I do this? I always forget how to build this one. Where is it? So we've got right. Doesn't really tell us anything though. So this one could be the worldwide. Yep. Okay, doesn't really tell us anything. Okay, that doesn't tell us anything either. We can't do a connected, oh, maybe we can. Let's try doing a connected scatter plot. So the USA versus that. Let's put that on detail. So these are all of our dots. So now we could make this a line and connect them by month. That didn't work. Right, so if I move month to pages, and let's show the history. I don't want to fade them out. I want to show both. that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so that did nothing. We did the waterfall. Parallel coordinates, we don't really, doesn't really make sense here. All right. What other, anybody else have any other ideas? Trying to think of what else we could do and which one I like best. I don't know if I like the idea of comparing the world to. This one seems okay. But not great. Let's maybe put, make these bars. Yeah, that's no good. Let's try the difference. So that's not all that much more interesting. I just had another idea, but now it's escaped my head. Oh, I didn't even know that you all probably can't hear me very well. I'm sure that's better, isn't it? I forgot to move my microphone. Is that better, by the way? Can you hear me? It's got to be better because the microphone's closer. Right. So the spark lines, that doesn't, I don't like that. The seismogram's kind of interesting. I wonder if how the seismogram would look if I made it like, I already did 20 visualizations already. Okay, so could we do, and if we put that there, so this now shows the difference and whether you're above or below. But maybe we should look at this as at the quarterly level. And then we could take maybe the median. Something like that. Is that any better? Not really. Okay. Let's try, I wonder if I should look at it maybe, let's bring year here. And I want to look at I want to get the minimum for each year. Okay, so min USA per year. So I'm going to say fixed on the year of the month. I want to get the min United States. There we go. Okay. And then let's duplicate that. Do I even need to do that? I think I'm overthinking this. So this should be max. I don't think I need this. Because what I could do is, let's see, so if I put that here, and then I make this the min. Let's make it a bar. No, make it a Gantt bar. that's okay. And then let's make this one the max. So now we can look at the range. So that's the range within the years. Okay, so let's try that and move those to detail. And then let's duplicate the measure values. Make this one a line and a dual axis and a synchronize, and then move those to the front. Oh, that's okay. All right. So now this is kind of showing the range across the years. So kind of the spread. Another way to look at this might be so let's get rid of the one with the circles. And if we make the line bigger, then it'll be like rounded lines. I don't know what you think of that. So that's kind of showing the range. And if I duplicate it again and I make this a Gantt bar, and I want to kind of connect the dots here. So I want to have the min on there. Okay, so minus, let's drag that in there. And let's put that on size. And make this smaller. Okay, so this is just another way to look at this same view, but with a Gantt bar instead of, yeah, okay. So we could look at the, let's look at the USA range. This would be that. Let's put that on color. Okay, this just shows which ones had the bigger ranges. Okay, better. Okay, thanks for confirming the microphone. Sorry about that. I had moved it out of the way from my previous call and just didn't even notice. What does this look like? So let's duplicate this. And hopefully you're seeing that I tend to duplicate my sheets over and over again. The reason I do that is because I might want to come back to one of the other ones. Yeah, so this shows me the range. Okay, I don't know why it really matters, but okay. So let's have a look here. Jen really wants the seismogram, so maybe I'll go with the seismogram. But I think I'm going to go with a seismogram that goes sideways, like this one. This is USA, right? Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of the color. Oh, no, I need it on detail for my tooltip because I want this out of the tooltip. Yeah. So let's call this, it's like an index, isn't it? Where is it here? So interest relative to the highest point of the chart. Okay, so everything's relative to the highest point on the chart. So we could call this scary dream, interest in scary dreams. Okay. So let's call this interest. Okay, so now I can fix my tooltip here. Get rid of that. Why is that still in my tooltip? As a search index, search interest. yeah, so something like that looks okay. Now, can I supplement that with something else, or do I just leave it? So if I put that on color, oops. Oh, because that's giving me the... Oh, but I want it to be, that's per year, but I want this to actually be per month. Why is it? Oh, of course, because it's so stupid. I don't want the range. I want to have just the search interest on color. There we go. Oh, but that's back to what we had before. Maybe I should choose a different color palette. Maybe that'll make it look a bit better. You need something with a bit more variance top to bottom. What if I do this one? That's a bit better. Let's see what other ones are on offer here. I don't think this one's going to work. No, because then there's too many of them are white. So it's too hard to see those. No, not quite. Nope. Nope. What other color palette could I use here? I think this one worked the best so far. Something like that. What do you think? Okay, the other one I liked was the spark lines. And then this is the spark lines with the variance. Let me duplicate this one. And let's make this a dual axis. Make this one, I'm going to do the little lollipops. Make this one circles. Make it a dual axis. And synchronize. Move marks back. Okay, so then my bar, I just need to make thinner. Then my circles, I need to make smaller as well. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. Okay, worth a try though. So the problem with this one is it doesn't really tell me anything. So it's not very useful. Right. What else could we do? What else could we do? So this is like the range of interest. So let me just rename this one. This is the range of interest. Now what I could do, I think that's the same thing here. Yeah. So that could be there. Let's see what it looks like if I do the worldwide as well. So let's make this a min. There we go. And then here, we want to have, so let's duplicate, edit. So let's call this one the worldwide range. Right. Where's measure names? Okay, there we go. So something like that. I don't know. It doesn't tell me anything either. Oh, very difficult data set. Rounded bar chart is interesting as well. Simple and easy. I think, so Garima, I think you mean this one? So this is the one with the range. So we could put the range on color. Might look something like that. But again, what if I use a different color palette? So that's the range throughout the year. I think that's the one you mean. Yep. Okay. Now, I kind of like this one. Maybe one other thing I should do then is if I put the search interest field here, and let's get rid of that. Let's make these circles. Get rid of that. And if I put the month field onto detail, and then let's make this a tool axis and synchronize. Then we can also see the range of the circles inside there. What about that? If I make these white. What do you think of that? Something different. I could also put in here a, let's put in a average line. So table, search interest, pane. No. So there we go. So that then shows us the average over time. What I don't like is how wide that is. Okay, so is there another way? Is there another way that I can? Okay, I've got an idea. Let's do USA. That's a search interest. And I'm going to make this one an average. But the problem now is I can't have two axes. Okay, so that's not going to work. What I was thinking of is using shapes here instead, and then having yeah. So let's put these both onto So the min and the max can't be the same. Okay, so this needs to be max search interest. Why don't I just do this? So now my tooltips look a little bit nicer. And then we'll just call this one, where's this here? That's on color. Okay. Right. So it's something like that. Looks more like Morse code strips. It does, yeah. I wish I could get the median line on there as well. How could I do that? I want it on there as a shape. Problem is I can't do two. Okay, let me try something else. Let me duplicate this. And then here, I'm actually going to make this a Gantt bar. I'm going to switch it back to a Gantt bar and put the range on. Let's see. So I want to have the min here and then the range on size. Okay, so that gives us something like that. The problem now is the circles don't fit within the. Okay, so that's not going to work. Looks kind of like it looks now like one of those wristbands you wear when you go to a nightclub that they have to put the they punch it through so you can't get it off unless you cut it off. Sorry, question. Are we using the median or some values for max and min? So for the max and min, well, I'm using an LOD actually. So if I'm saying for each month, then just give me the max search interest. So what I could do now though is I could get the if I get the let's see, so let me duplicate this. And let's call this one average. Just average. Okay. So now if I put that on top of this axis and synchronize, that's fine. And then hello. And then let's put measure names onto, oh, let's make this a shape. No. Let's put this, oh, well, I keep picking it. It keeps shape. There we go. Okay. So now what I could do is my search interests, I want that to be a circle. So let me just hit apply. And then the other one, I want that to be like some kind of like vertical line. So, or horizontal line, sorry. So what if I chose that? Okay, it needs to be a bit fatter. What other shapes do I have to use? I've got tons of shapes here. Animals, arrows, no. No. Buttons, no. I think I have icons. Here we go. Maybe this will give me one. So what if I did that? And then let's put the measure names onto size as well. And I'm going to reverse the size. Hit apply. Okay, so now my larger one, I want to stretch almost across. And then my smaller one, I want that to be maybe, oops. Something like that. Okay, now I just need to change the shape because it's too fat. Icons, I think, is where I found that. Okay, so not there. KPI, no. Miscellaneous. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go with probably with one of these. Something like that. So then that gives us the median on there as well. Okay, maybe that does it. So what do you think about that look with, these are, again, kind of like those bracelets from a club. So now I can hide that header. So let's just call this search interest. So this would be my range of search. Scary dreams. All right, it's something something unique. It's definitely unique. I don't think I've ever built something like this before. I just wish I could get this line to be a bit fatter. I could create one that's a bit fatter. So yeah, I think you probably understand what I mean. It's really hard to see that line, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it just needs to be like that. I could perhaps make them all white. No, that doesn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, I think I'll leave it like that. So let's format the view now. Actually, I'm going to edit my axis, and I'm going to set my range to be every 25. Okay. And then I'm going to set the range to go from maybe minus 5 to 105, because I want to be able to see 0 on there. I get rid of my 0 lines because I just want to see the grid line there. Let's get rid of our row dividers, get rid of our column dividers. Okay. So I think, let's go here. Let's do axis rulers. So we want to do the column axis rulers. Let's turn that on. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now, I don't think I need that. All right, so now let me clean up my tooltips. So on this one, what do we have here? So if I just hover over the bar, I want to have the year in there. So let's include in tooltip. Okay, so we want to have the year. We want to have the range. max, the min, and maybe I could format this a bit nicer. Let me insert on a right arrow. And then maybe just get rid of the range. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and then when we go into the monthly one, we want to go to the tooltip. We want to get rid of the year. And let's move this up to the top. And then we want to go and then I think I'm going to put this one here. All right, so now what I could do here is I could maybe color this one red or something. Yeah. Okay, so then I need to now format my measure values to the pane needs to be number. Okay, there we go. All right, let me go back in here. Tooltip, this is 14. Tooltip, let's make 14. Okay, I think I like that. Oh, I need to show this header. I think maybe I'll leave this axis here as well. Change my tick marks to go from fixed, go from 0 and every 25. That way it matches on both sides. Okay, so now I need to come up with some kind of title, and I probably also want to put whatever the note is here. I'm just going to copy this for now. Tableau light. Okay. Oops, that didn't work, did it? Okay. Okay. So I could say this search interest over time. Value 100 is a peak popularity. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, so now I need to come up with a better title. So what could be another title for this? No. What can I call it? I need a title idea. Maggie, come on, get down. Come on, get down. Let's see, what could I call this? How interested are Americans in scary dreams? Okay. All right, so let me go back to here and let me extract the data so I don't mess anything up. So scary dreams, that's fine. And I probably should save at some point. Okay. So now I need to throw this onto a dashboard. I'll move this to the start. How many sheets do we end up creating? 30 sheets and 2 dashboards. Oh, pretty good. So I'm going to delete. We'll leave the phone layout in there. I'll just show you what we could do with that. Let's get rid of this. I would be interested to see if somebody can come up with something interesting with that seismogram. Okay, and let's do okay. And then maybe it just doesn't need to be as big. Okay. Let's see. What font could we use? We want something sans. Not unisons. Looks pretty neat, but I think it's a bit too hard to read. Source Sans Pro, no. I wonder if I should use something like Times New Roman, since it's more like a report. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Why not? I haven't used Times New Roman in forever. So let's make this bold and maybe 18. Let's try that. 22. All right. So I think this is okay. So now I need to publish it up to Tableau Public. And save. Come on. Okay. It doesn't like it. Why does this take so long? 30 seconds to publish this. That is ridiculous. Okay, I want to show it on profile, allow people to access it. And then I always go down here and I will put in here the watch me viz link. And that should be here. Content live. And let's get the link. So I put this in here so that if people want to see it later, they can. I can even put it here in the external link as well. And then save. And then I always also go back to my Tableau public profile to make sure it looks okay over there. And there we go. So I think, well, we created something interesting. I don't know what it tells me, but it's at least interesting looking. Right. So thank you very much for all of your questions along the way and your comments. Super, super helpful. You always help lead me in the right direction, which I do appreciate. Again, if you like this, please give it a like. It helps other people find it. Don't forget to click on subscribe. Every Tuesday, there's a tip released. If you would like to get tips early before other people get them, go to andykriebel.com and sign up for my newsletter. I also provide other advice as well, career advice, things to become a better data analyst, all different kinds of things. So sign up for my newsletter as well. And otherwise, everybody have a wonderful week. There will not be a Watch Me Viz next week. I will be on holiday, so there will not be one next week. So I'll see you the week after that. Bye.